Northwestern in the road purple. It is a packed house at Simon Scott Assembly Hall, and here we go. Jalen Hood-Schifino with the tip, and it's immediately picked off by Matthew Nicholson.
Indiana runs that play every time they get the tip. Northwestern was ready for it. Nice heads-up steal by Nicholson.
Barron on the baseline into the chest of Jordan Geronimo, making his first start in an Indiana uniform.
I tell you what, Robbie Barron has always been an X factor for Northwestern. When he plays well, it really takes a lot of pressure off of the backcourt of Buie and Chase Aldige.
Here is Tamar Bates, his second start of the season. Jalen Hood-Schifino puts in the first shot of the game for Indiana.
Excellent ball movement by the Hoosiers that time. They got Northwestern in that defensive rotation. Found Jalen Hood-Schifino on the back end.
How good has he been lately? 5 straight games in double figures, including 3 in a row with 15 or more.
Well, he's had to step up with the absence of Xavier Johnson and that foot injury. We knew that he had the capability. Now he's starting to really produce on a nightly basis.
Here's the leading scorer for the Wildcats, Chase Aldige off the mark.
So sometimes you'll see Aldige and Buie take shots like that because they almost have to.
Jackson Davis, no good on the first attempt, right back at him with the tip in.
You're not going to see a post player in college basketball with a quicker second jump than Trace Jackson Davis.
We talked about dealing with those back issues. You wouldn't have known it against Iowa. Put up his second 30-point game of the season as Buie rolls it off the window. Buie, in spite of his shooting struggles, Steven, still scored 15 points against Illinois.
Well, he's got to be a volume scorer for Northwestern that time. Fought through a lot of contact to get that layup to drop. Northwestern with a nice start here. Geronimo, point-blank range. I know he wants that one back.
Northwestern head coach Chris Collins told us when you go on the road in places like this, it's all about how you start. You have to avoid that knockout punch.
Yeah, because you can get buried quickly here if you're not prepared. This crowd gets into it.
Robbie Barron came prepared. That's a 3 for the senior.
And look at him smiling. Robbie Barron, for part of his career, man, has really struggled with his confidence. But now he is playing some of the best basketball of his career.
Schifino. He's looking pretty good in the opening minutes here in Bloomington.
Man, I'll tell you what, if Jalen Hood-Schifino can hit that shot consistently, there's not much you're going to be able to do with him defensively. He's big, athletic, confident, playing very, very well.
Backdoor cut. Aldige lays it in over the top of Trace Jackson Davis. The Chris Collins team has already beaten Michigan State and Illinois. Steven, if they win here against Indiana today, it'll be the first time since the 1967-68 season that they have beaten Michigan State, Illinois, and Indiana in the same year.
No, that's quite a statement there. You know, you've got a defensive team that defense travels. So they've been able to be very competitive with their improved defensive efforts.
Tapped around, Barry dives on it and finally scoops it up for Northwestern, who has the 6th best defense in the land, according to Ken Pom.
I'll tell you what, 2-point percentage defense, they're #1 in the country. So offense not easy to come by in the half-court set against the Wildcats.
Buie a 3.
Indiana looking to push, trying to get some early looks.
Scoops it in already. 7 points for the true freshman.
A nice adjustment that time. You rarely see Indiana go to an early ball screen action. Almost a secondary fast break situation. Nice adjustment by the Hoosiers.
Aldige kicks it out to Barry. That's a 3.
That's outstanding basketball by Chase Aldige. Knowing that he's the team's leading scorer, he's drawn a lot of defensive attention and finds Barry in the corner pocket.
He's somebody who has started to pick it up. 3 straight games in double figures. And travel on Jalen Hood-Schifino.
Really flowing well here early.
Northwestern 5 of 7, 3 assists. Indiana 4 of 8 with 1 assist. Already 2 made threes for Northwestern as Buie lays it in high off the window.
Beautiful move. What you're seeing, ladies and gentlemen, from this Northwestern team is Chris Collins' offensive playbook. They've got more plays than almost any other team in the Big Ten.
Not surprising, considering the academic prestige of Northwestern. Right? These guys know how to study a playbook. But how about Buie's start today, Steve? He was 0 for 10 to start the game against Illinois. Much better today, 2 of 3.
And he knows that he has to come out and establish himself early in this hostile environment.
7-0 run for the Wildcats. And again, Indiana without Brace Thompson, out indefinitely with a knee injury suffered against Iowa. Of course, still without Xavier Johnson, their starting point guard. Barry at 3, puts it down. That's his second of the first half, and Mike Woodson calls a timeout. His team on the wrong end of a 10-0 run.
You could mess around and have a 3 or 4 game losing streak in this conference. There are no days off in the Big Ten, and so you have to get over those losses very quickly and be prepared.
Timeout. Straight down to Malik Cornell, and you feel like he could be an X factor if he can get going a little bit for Indiana.
I'm telling you, Malik Renew, in my opinion, could be a premier big in this league. May not be this season because he's a freshman, and he's going through some ups and downs that a lot of freshmen go through. But this young man is confident, and he can play.
Boy, oh boy, talking about confidence. Stroking it from downtown on the Wildcats. 4 of 5 to start the game.
They're playing with a lot of confidence. They were down at home against Illinois, 7 in the second half, and hit the line with a 22-2 spurt.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
The team was picked 13th in the Big Ten. I know it's early, but do you see them finishing the year that way?
Aaron passed that time.
Pass to Nicholson, he pays it off.
Boy, they are having their way here this afternoon. Indiana trying to get some guys in the game that may not have a lot of comfort with one another on the floor here.
Much-needed bucket that ends a 7-0 Northwestern run.
I like that freshman's moxie right there. Knowing his team needed a bucket, went and got one. Northwestern running some nice sets here. Get their guys in position. Bowie likes this matchup against Malik Renew.
Kicks it to Barry.
Good defensive challenge that time. Miller caught.
Fans wanted a foul as both plays won't get it.
There's some contact at the bucket. I like C.J. Gunn's aggressiveness.
Scoots past him and leaves it off the back of the line.
C.J. Gunn having some very productive minutes here in the first half. It was a good defensive possession against Buie.
Jackson Davis, what a fade to Renew. That is the 4th assist already today for Jackson Davis.
Well, Trace Jackson Davis is an intelligent player, and here comes a foul.
Jackson Davis. Malachi gets a 3. Timeout Northwestern. Jackson Davis 8 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, a block. You talked about people questioning his toughness maybe at points throughout the course of the season. There's no question tonight. Again, playing with incredible toughness for IU.
I've never questioned it at all. I've always thought the young man was tough. And you know what? That change in defense from Mike Woodson, that 2-2-1, three-quarter court pressure back into his zone, that's forced 2 misses. So Indiana doing some really good things and adjusting defensively to get some stops.
Galloway puts in a 3. It's a 10-0 Indiana run. And they have it back to single digits. Instead, he's tagged with a foul. And there's some new juice in this building, Stephen.
As it should be. And Indiana taking a page from what Iowa did to them last game. That was an obvious foul. Good call there by James Breeding. But you notice that Indiana is utilizing a similar approach to what Iowa did to them. Pressure defense, changing defenses back into a zone. It's kind of gotten Northwestern out of their rhythm in the half court.
Iowa to climb back from a 21-point deficit to beat Indiana in their last game. Buie, no! And the rebound, Jackson Davis.
Great challenge by Malik Renew that time.
Jackson Davis rejected on that end by Nicholson.
I see you, Matthew Nicholson. He said, look, he's not going to let Trace get all the blocks this afternoon.
Kick out. Deja 3. But he stepped out of bounds. And it's a turnover for Northwestern. And that is the first turnover of the game for the Wildcats.
Well, watch Chase Aldee's foot. I am so amazed how many times this happens in college basketball. This happens almost once a game all over the country. And these guys have played enough basketball, you would think to know where they are on the floor at all times, but you see it far too often, in my opinion.
What do you think that is?
I think when you're playing in a venue like this, you just get so excited that you lose track of where you are.
Deej was fouled on the take to the basket. First free throw attempts of the game for Northwestern. They shot 40 against Illinois in their win earlier this week.
Wow, they just showed the replay here. Mike Woodson, he's got to be careful.
He is hot.
One of his assistants needs to get Woodson, because he is screaming at Brian Dorsey.
Here's why they reacted that way.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I can understand them being upset about that. But Rob Riley trying to calm down Mike Woodson.
Northwestern hasn't scored a field goal in 4 minutes.
That changing defense has really helped Indiana and C.J. Gunn. Galloway off the bench. These guys are providing really good minutes.
Shafano from straight away.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Today, no Race Thompson, no Xavier Johnson. Gets his miss, left off the front end. And then a foul. I believe it will go against Jordan Geronimo. That is the third on the team, just his first.
Man, Trace almost got that miss back and scored it again. He is so quick on that second jump.
Use that zone pressure that you talked about, Stephen, and it has really disrupted Northwestern, who started the game shooting over 70%. They've since gone 1 for the last 8.
Yeah, you know, in the half-court set against the man-to-man defense, Indiana really wasn't able to keep up with what Northwestern was doing with their actions. But in the zone, giving Northwestern a nice little wrinkle, so Northwestern is struggling to figure out how to attack this.
Under 10 on the shot clock. Left it off for Barry, and a soft touch in the lane goes.
That was a really good play by Robbie Barron. That's what you have to do against the zone. Get into the teeth where the Big Ten emblem is, and you can find success. That's exactly what Barry got that runner to drop.
Deej picks it off. Left it short. Barron's put back. No, and the rebound. Jackson Davis, and Barron is shaken up behind the play. Barron got hit in the head there. Barron wearing a headband today because he got knocked in the head at practice earlier this week.
Well, he got, I don't know if he fell into the backstand and his left eye is really red.
Geronimo with a tough rebound draws a foul to boot.
Let's take a look at what happened with Robbie Barron. He's all, as Matt mentioned, he's already wearing a protective pad over his head. He goes up. Oh, right there on the finish. Like Jordan Geronimo got him a little bit. You see he's okay.
Northwestern plays a pretty tight rotation. It's been 8 all year as Miller draws a blocking foul on Buie. That's his second foul. And now the next foul will put Indiana into the bonus with less than 60 seconds to play in the first half.
It's a nice connection here with Miller Kopp being a former Northwestern Wildcat, so it's always interesting to see players go against their former team.
Buie heads to the bench with those 2 fouls. Deej again deflecting the pass.
Guys everywhere.
The Big Ten leader in steals.
He's always like a shutdown corner. Wherever the side of the basketball that he's on, you better go the other way.
On Deej Island. That time he's rejected by Bates. Deej stays with it. Rolls it out to Barry. And a foul on Geronimo.
Boy, Tamar Bates, there's an excellent read. He knew that Deej was going to go for the pass. Deej was trying to pass this. He was not trying to score. Bates doing a really good job of getting his hand on the basketball.
Second foul on Geronimo. Mike Woodson will keep him on the floor. Barry. Jackson Davis. He has 13 rebounds in the first half.
So we call a grown man.
Shot clock turned off to end the half for Indiana. Jackson Davis rolls it in. 7 seconds for Northwestern. Up ahead to Nicholson. Hammers it home before the buzzer. And then intercepted by Roper. His scoop shot won't count. What a finish.
Stable factor for the Indiana Hoosiers, and he's playing some great basketball here.
He'll be the second Indiana player to have 2 triple doubles in his career. As Northwestern gets the ball back to start the half.
Didn't get it to fall, but still, Chase Deej putting pressure on the Hoosier defense, allowing Barron to come in and clean it up.
With Schifino trying to track down the rebound. Instead, it's Ty Barry. Here comes Buie. Steps it through and sneaks it past Trace Jackson Davis.
That was a serious sidestep, avoiding Miller Kopp at the bucket. Trace Jackson Davis goes for the block. Buie a little bit too quick. Jordan Geronimo is being guarded by Ty Barry. I wonder if Indiana can figure out a way to take advantage of that matchup. Oh, now Barry goes back to Geronimo.
Northwestern led by as many as 13 in the first half. Foul underneath, and that'll be the 3rd on Jordan Geronimo. He's now up to 15 on 6 of 10. Indiana coming off that loss against Iowa, just 1-2 in league play. Northwestern looking for the 3rd win already in the Big Ten for a team that was picked 13th in the preseason poll. That last ball went off C.J. Gunn. He tried to plead his case for James Breeding to take a look at the monitor, and James Breeding said,
no, hey, but you know what? You tip your hat to that young man, C.J. Gunn. He's going to get minutes based on this effort here this afternoon. Moving screen right there.
Stat for Hogan finishes underneath the left.
Trace fell on his back. Oh, he got up. Okay. Hold my breath there for a second.
Already without 2 starters is Indiana. Race Thompson, the most recent to go down with a knee injury against Iowa. Really nice feed from Galloway down to Renew, who draws a foul.
Well, Northwestern, little miscommunication there defensively, but watch Trey Jackson-Davis goes right on his back. And you see his teammates hold their breath, but then he pops right back up.
Trey Jackson-Davis right into the teeth of Verhoeven.
Fighting through a lot of contact there. And that young man, he doesn't complain, he just keeps playing. Jackson-Davis, it's going to be rare, Matt, that he's going to get an opportunity without a couple defenders on him. And fights through the contact and gets it off the glass.
3 assists away from a triple-double. He'd be the first Indiana player ever to have 2 in his career. He'd be the first player in Division I this year to have 2 triple-doubles.
Look at Galloway get after Buie. Really trying to keep Northwestern out of their rhythm.
Count a foul first, and it goes against Indiana. And now, Stephen, fouls become a storyline. Both teams with 4 or more. We could see some free throw shooting here down the stretch.
Yeah, you expect that in a hotly contested Big Ten matchup. There's going to be physicality. There's going to be some fouls called, and we'll see which team takes advantage of it.
Next foul puts Northwestern into the bonus with 14 minutes to play.
These are the games, man, when I wish I had some eligibility left.
That foul against Audige. No, it'll go against Verhoeven.
Well, C.J. Gunn leaving it out on the floor on both ends, trying to fight over the screen. Verhoeven gets called for the foul. This is the same set Indiana ran last time. I love this adjustment, because it allows Trace Jackson-Davis to face up and watch where the double's coming from.
And now a foul on Audige. So 2 quick ones for Northwestern. And now Robbie Barron on the bench with 3. Titus Verhoeven still in the game with 3, but he'll check out as Nicholson comes on. And 2 for Buie.
Northwestern aggressive defensively, but they've got to pick and choose their spots here in the second half.
Buie climbing the ladder and wrestles it, putting it in the hands of Nicholson.
Old man rebound right there by Buie. And that's a desire to get that offense.
Splits the defense, had it blocked by Jalen Hood-Schifino, but they'll call it a goaltend and count the basket.
See, this is why you want to get old in college basketball. Buie is playing with a sense of urgency. This is his last time in Simon Scott Assembly Hall, and he wants to go out a winner. So you're seeing this effort from these seniors on both sides.
Got a 3. Chris Collins talked about that senior urgency with Buie, Barrett, Audige. They have been the catalysts for this team's early season success.
Nice read. Good recovery by Trace Jackson-Davis.
Right
always played with great effort. And his energy off the bench.
Stephen, you start to look at this foul situation for both teams. Hood Schifino with 2, Malik Renew with 2. We've basically not seen Jordan Geronimo for Indiana this entire second half. He's on the bench with 3. And then for Northwestern, 3 plays with 3 fouls. Chris Collins rolling the dice, leaving 2 of them on the floor.
Well, he's got to leave Ardege and Buie on the floor most of the time. He can sub out some, but those guys have to play the majority of the minutes.
Beautiful shot goes down. Jalen Hood Schifino closing in on a career high. And he now has it at 24 points.
Well, this young man has the skill set and the confidence to hit you for 30.
Was about to pop off Assembly Hall, and the Hoosiers been able to corral that. And the bench loved this last 3, the first points of the game off turnovers for Indiana.
Well, Tamar Bates is known for his 3-point shooting ability. Nice kick to the wing and elevates with confidence. And this Hoosier squad trying to get this home crowd activated. They're on their feet now, man.
To a single-digit deficit. Galloway picks the pocket of Barry and then gets a timeout. What an effort by Trey Galloway. Jalen Hood Schifino has done his darndest to keep Indiana in this game. A new career high 24. Kick out to Galloway. Jackson Davis. Putback rejected. Third time setback. Jackson Davis tucked away. Bates. And before the pass, there was a foul. All kinds of contact, but how about the effort from Trace Jackson Davis?
He's trying not to be denied. Northwestern doing a really good job with Barron and Nicholson going straight up, utilizing some of the backboard as well. You see Trace just staying with it. Great effort.
Trace Jackson Davis, 22 rebounds. First Indiana player to have 20 or more rebounds since DJ White did it in 2008.
He's getting after it. He's getting
after it. Slips it past TJD.
Beautiful move. Wow, that's the first time I've seen Buie show a lot of emotion. He's screaming at Nicholson for some reason.
Buie up to 21.
I don't like that shot. You got to get your teammates involved. Northwestern's defense is too good to try to not have any passes and go one-on-one. Look like it's trying to Northwestern go with the Buie show. Down the stretch.
5 on the timer for Robbie Barron. Barron on the drive. And he draws a foul on Malik Renew, and that is his 3rd.
You know why you like older players on your team? Because Robbie Barron is under shot clock duress. Malik Renew's in good position, but you got to put pressure on the defense in that scenario. Robbie Barron doing an excellent job of getting an opportunity at the free throw line instead of settling for a contested jump shot.
Barron up to 11 points. And as we mentioned in the first half, he was 2 for 18 from the floor in the 3 games leading into this game with no threes. He has 2 triples. this afternoon.
He's playing aggressively, and he's playing under control, and that was a big-time play. It might not look like much, but it stemmed the run. Chase Aldeej has been out for quite a while. I think he's dealing with some back issues himself, not even on the bench right now.
Barrett getting into the passing lane causes a turnover. Number 14 today for Indiana.
So can Northwestern come down the stretch without their leading scorer and continue to hold this lead?
Barrett back to the foul line.
About it, but Robbie Barron is long. So when he goes on a double team and his hands are active, you've got to really be careful with the basketball. Northwestern coming up with yet another turnover. So you're going to see high ball screen action from Northwestern down the stretch.
Schifino with a career-high 24.
Boy, look at Barry anticipating the pass.
And a foul on Barry. You just mentioned the fact that Northwestern's without their leading scorer, Chase Aldeej. Here's why. He was getting some treatment after he hit his back during a physical play, and we haven't seen him come back since. Steven, still in the locker room, it appears, and now here he comes, as a matter of fact. So Aldeej emerges with his jersey on with 6:15 to play. There he is on the Northwestern bench.
Oh, he's standing because he's trying to show Chris Collins, hey, I'm ready to go. Put me back in the game.
Barry a three. Texas miss. Barry a second chance.
Oh, two good looks from Northwestern from deep. Look at those hands defensively.
Jackson Davis with the left hand puts it in. 14 points tonight for Davis.
Good job by Miller Kopp. Boy, he put a body check on Nicholson so Trace Davis could get back in position defensively.
Buie. Flips it over Miller Kopp.
Listen, every time Miller Kopp comes out on Buie is taking it to the hole. Every single time they are taking advantage of Miller Kopp in one-on-one defensive situation.
Bates off the bounce. Beautiful finger roll from about 5 feet away from the basket.
With his offhand. We are seeing some high-level basketball this afternoon.
Bates making his second start of the season. He comes right back the other way. He's made a bunch of tough shots. Now 25 for Buie.
Buie is refusing to allow the Hoosiers to get any closer.
And the second foul on Ty Berry.
Trying to give Bill Raftery some love because imitation is the best form of flattery. Boo, Buie.
Onions would also be appropriate here.
No doubt. And the kiss off the glass. Buie.
5 for Buie. His season high is 28. That was against IPFW. No offense to IPFW. This is a much higher level team in Indiana. And Buie has stepped up to the occasion.
And it's on the road in the Big Ten. And
Here comes Chase Aldeej.
So we'll see how loose he can keep his back and how involved he can be on the offensive end. I anticipate, Matt, that they'll go through Buie for a while to let Chase get loose and then maybe incorporate him after a few possessions. So here's that three-quarter court pressure by Indiana that served them well in the first half.
He's had a couple of monstrous dunks this afternoon.
That is a picture-perfect way to attack that pressure. Get a dunk at the other end.
And another turnover for Indiana. Buie tells Audige to pull it back.
Indiana just has not done a good job of taking care of the basketball. It's an opportunistic defense.
Buie took too many steps and gives it back to the Hoosiers.
You got to go quickly. You got to get Trace Jackson-Davis involved, getting him to the bucket, because the best case scenario is for Indiana to score at the free throw line with no time off the clock.
Shafino almost coughed it up. Indiana with 15 turnovers in this game. Picked off by Audige. 5 steals in the game, playing through the back, injury and all.
Yep. Just his anticipation is as good as anybody will see in college basketball.
Buie dumps it down, and Nicholson. They will not count the shot, but he'll head to the line for free throws.
Well, I thought Buie was going to let that go, but he saw Nicholson on the nice roll to the bucket, and Miller Kopp saving an easy deuce.
You talked about his play today. 8 points, 5 boards, and an assist. No turnovers for the big fella.
I'm telling you, Nicholson has been playing extremely well. And any points you get from him are pretty much bonus points. But he has had a nice presence this afternoon. He's made Trace Jackson-Davis work for everything he's got. He's been able to finish when he's gotten the rock around the bucket. And if Matthew Nicholson continues to improve, Northwestern is they're going to be rough.
He only played 4 minutes a game last year. Just an incredible jump in terms of his role and production in his junior season. Bates, turnaround jumper, rattles it out. Needed to have it. And now Indiana has to sit down and defend.
I thought we would see more of Tamar Bates in that form, being aggressive offensively, getting more time. Now with injuries, he's going to see some more opportunities.
Double on Audige, picked off by Bates. And tapped out of bounds, last touch by Northwestern. Great defense by the Hoosiers.
Did a good job of keeping Buie from the rim. Galloway once again, nice size, smothers Buie, then he double teams Audige, forcing a turnover. There's enough time for Indiana to make a move, but they've got to be quick in each possession.
Trying to get it to Trace Jackson-Davis instead of foul on the perimeter. It goes against Ty Berry. That is his 3rd, and free throws coming for Indiana.
See, that's nice aggressiveness by Bates, because now you're at the free throw line. So you can convert, you can get set back up in your defense, and there's no time off the clock.
And I beg your pardon, that's the 4th on Ty Berry. So now Northwestern has 4 players with at least 3 fouls. Verhoeven and Roper on the bench for Northwestern with 3. Barron and Berry in the game still with 3 or more. And Bates gets them both. It's back to single digits.
Well, Audige is not moving well.
And Barron forced to call a timeout.
Big time here, so and you know, people think that Minnesota is down, which they are, but Nebraska had to go to overtime and beat them yesterday. So to your point, Matt, no nights off in this conference.
Nebraska's significantly improved this year.
Yes, they are.
Barron off the bounce. Tough shot, forced by TJD. And then a foul underneath against Indiana, and it goes against Tamar Bates. Bates.
Trayce Jackson-Davis, great defense. And then Ty Berry has got a beat on the offensive rebound. It looks like, oh, now the fans didn't like that.
Just have to say it again. Trayce Jackson-Davis coming off a 30-point performance against Iowa today. 14 points, 23 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 blocks.
He's All-American. Yeah, he's done everything he can to put his team in position to win. But boy, they've run into a buzzsaw in the Northwestern Wildcats.
Time winding down. Inside to Trayce Jackson-Davis, and he rolls it off the window.
Now, you don't have to foul, but if you can get a double team or a steal if you're Indiana, but this will probably be the last possession that you don't have to foul.
Chafina defending Buie. Feeds Nicholson, and it's back to Indiana.
Trayce Jackson-Davis, one of the few times he's caught the ball and been able to be one-on-one in the post. The whirling derby goes up underneath with the left. Nice finish.
When do you start thinking about taking threes if you're Indiana?
I mean, if they're open, you got to let them go. But that Northwestern has played such good defense, there's not a lot of open looks.
Chafina bumped by Berry, and that is his 5th.
See, that's the thing, man. At this juncture, if you're Indiana, you're trying to come back. This is a really good scenario, right? But if you take threes too early and you miss, they've got great contributions up and down the roster.
Case Audige now top 10 all-time at Northwestern in steals. Rims out, and it stays an 8-point game. Double team on Buie. A foul here, right? And they finally do. Audige will go to the line.
Well, you had to give your team an opportunity to try to come up with a steal. And Indiana didn't get it. I thought they were going to foul Roper right when he caught the basketball, you know, on the inbounds pass, because he hasn't had a lot of opportunities on the offensive end.
6 steals, a career high for the Big Ten leader in steals per game. Leads the team in scoring, leads the team in steals. He's one of 3 players in the Big Ten to do that.
Well, you can tell he's not even getting any knee bend on this free throw just because his back is hurting him so much. There he goes. A little bit better.
9-point deficit for Indiana. 45 seconds to go in Bloomington. IU trying to avoid back-to-back losses. TJ got it, and the foul.
Why does Chase Audige?
And a few blocks to boot.
You saw that number. Most rebounds since Kent Benson of the national championship.
Trayce Jackson-Davis is in the midst of rewriting a lot of the history in this storied program. And the disappointing part, Stephen, is that it's coming from losing efforts potentially on back-to-back games. And that's ultimately what this Indiana team will be thinking about. They had up 21 on the road, couldn't close it out. And then today, credit to Northwestern, they defended like crazy, but they've left the door open here for the Hoosiers. Bates Jalen Hood-Schifino.
Wow, Roper almost fouled him there.
And he buries a three. 4-point game. And Bates tagged with the foul. The second best free throw shooting team in the Big Ten. He's an 86% foul shooter.
Boy, he's fighting through that pain as well. Trying to get that deep in there. And that follow through.
Two-possession game. Do you need a three?
Yes, now you need a three.
Schifino goes to the bucket and lays it in with the reverse. 30 points for Jalen Hood-Schifino. And a timeout. 17.6 left in the game. No timeouts for the Cats. Fans yelling for a foul to be called, and finally one is. He's cool, calm, and collected at the foul line. Now 7 of 9 on the day. Indiana does have a timeout. 11.9 to go. And they get something quickly here. Hood-Schifino, defended by Barron. Buries the triple with 1.9. Barron gets it in quickly and immediately a foul. Only 0.5 of a second came off there. What a shot by Jalen Hood-Schifino. Now 33 points.
Yeah, he lost some valuable time, though. You know, you got to get into that quickly, and if you don't have it, you got to kick it. Look at how many dribbles it takes him to get to that position. And he'll learn. This is his first season. He's had an outstanding game this afternoon. But in that scenario, you got to go quicker.
Career high today for Jalen Hood-Schifino, obliterating his previous of 21. Now Buie at the foul line. Second best free throw shooter in the Big Ten, Stephen. 89% he misses the first.
Well, you got to have a, if he misses here, you got to have a rebound and a heave.
Doesn't miss it. 4-point game. Indiana electing not to use the timeout. Galloway backs it in off the buzzer, but Northwestern comes away with the 1-point win. We saw it all in this game today.
One of the wildest Big Ten games I've seen in recent memory. Great effort both sides, but you tip your hat to the Northwestern Wildcats. They were fantastic this afternoon.
Wildcats have now won against Indiana, Illinois, and Michigan State in the same season for the first time since 1967-68. The official